Glad to have you with us for our PTA Board of Directors meeting. It's our first meeting of the year. Before we begin, like a copy of the agenda, there are a few here. You're welcome to grab one. I want to remind us of our purpose and mission as the PTA. So our mission statement says that we are to support and speak on behalf of children and youth in schools, in the community, and before government agencies and other organizations that make decisions affecting children, to assist parents in developing skills they need to protect their children and raise them, and to encourage parent and public involvement in the public schools. The purpose of our PTA is to promote the welfare of children and youth in the home, school, community, and places of worship, to raise the standards of home life, to secure adequate laws, and to care for the protection of children and youth, to bring in closer relation the home and the school, so that parents and teachers may cooperate intelligently in the education of their children and youth, and to develop between educators, general public, such united efforts as will secure for all children and youth the highest advantages in physical, mental, social, and spiritual education. So that's what we strive to do on the best of our days. And it's something that we will continue to work on as our PTA. The agenda is before you. Are there any additions or changes before we proceed? Generally, at this point, we would approve the last minutes from the last meeting, but since it's our first meeting, we don't have to do that this year. I'm going to move to our to Sarah, one of our co-treasurers, for a budget update. In the future, we'll send the budget to you to look at prior to the meeting. That's my error of not sending that out. So we're just going to do a budget review and highlight some things for you at this point.
All right, so Spirit Rock so far we've had 102 sign up for that through August, through the end of August. We have 127 members for the PTA so far. I did want to remind anybody, if you're a board member, you do need to sign up for the PTA, and we still had 4 or 5, I think, that hadn't. So if you can go in this week and get signed up. The speaker system was our big project last year, and there was a piece that was on back order. They found a comparable, it was the mixer. So that's been ordered. So as soon as we have an update, we'll let you know when that'll all be installed, but that kind of delayed us a little bit on that. We're working with the teachers on using their classroom funds. I think about a third have used it so far. We got the parent shirts ordered last week, and they take about 3 weeks to come in. So the end of this month, beginning of October, we'll be able to hand out the parent shirts. We'll send them home with the students for that. And otherwise, the big expenses in August were the back to school gifts for the teachers, the breakfast, and the staff shirts. So we came in a little under budget for all of those items. Looking towards September, we're already starting to purchase for the holiday boutique, so that's going well. Yeah, anybody have any questions for me?
All right, if you have a question about the budget, now is a good time to ask it, but seeing there are no questions, we will move on. And Ms. McCauley, I think I will turn to you for an administrative update since I don't see Mr. Davis. I'm guessing you're
I'm
designated
the designee today.
Great.
Mr. Davis is an east side with the principal, the superintendent.
Great. I'm not supposed to be there.
I think you are, but that's okay. That's great. Anyways, I'm sure he needs to get something. Okay, so just a couple of reminders. Yesterday, as most of you probably know, was School Picture Day. If your child was absent for School Picture Day, the makeup day will be October 2nd. So October 2nd is the scheduled makeup day. We're excited about the kickoff of the fundraiser. Adam came yesterday and talked to the faculty and staff to kind of give them a little debrief. So we're excited about that. And then the only other couple of things I have are K-5 and first grade parents should receive an invitation for, I think they're calling it like a reading roundup, literacy review. So if you'll just make sure to RSVP to that and you can plan on joining us. My understanding it will be the 19th and the 20th if the calendar is still correct. Other than that, that's really it. August seems to have dragged on and on and on, but September seems to be moving quickly. So Before we know it, we'll be back in October. So that's really all I have. Any questions for me? Yes.
Can you email me the test dates?
Yes, ma'am, because that is right around the corner. Yes.
And then I understand there may be a conflict with the April PTA meeting.
And
I'm sure we'll resolve that and
we need
announce
to,
that.
I meant to do that on Friday and I forgot. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Great.
We will get in touch about that. This happened.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions for our administration this stage? Thank you very much. Mrs. Troutman is our designated representative from the faculty. She's not here today because she's with students, obviously. But we had an opportunity to talk with her on Friday, and she gave a nice update from the faculty, encouraged us to work with an organization called PEP, and they're going to be at the Fall Festival and joining us. And they are a nice organization that works with community partners and also trying to educate people in the area about schools and what teachers' needs are. Will overlap a lot of ways with PTA, and so I think that will be a nice addition to that Fall Festival that's coming up. As was mentioned, we are about to kick off the fall fundraiser. It's actually live right now. You should have received one of these flyers home from your child. If you have multiple children, hopefully you've gotten multiple copies of them. On one side, it's got this little cute wanted poster and then information about when the fundraiser runs. On the back, it's a little bit more descriptive about different options that are available. You should be able to scan the QR code or go to this website and easily register your student and donate directly to the PTA fundraiser. That money is going to help us accomplish some projects which we're going to talk a little bit more about later, and also offer some grants and other funding opportunities for different things at the school. Another thing that fall fundraiser goes to support is the Fall Festival, which will be happening not this Friday, but next from 5 to 7. And all of that information should also have been sent to you as a separate flyer about the Fall Fund or the Fall Festival. I'm seeing some yeses and some nos, so if you need copies of these flyers, we do have some extra copies.
We just put in boxes yesterday. So
These may be coming home soon. The official kickoff for the fundraiser is tomorrow, but if you get this and you scan it and you go on there, you can register, you can donate. All of that has already been done, and I think last night we were already at 1%, so that's great news. Our goal is $30,000. Last year we reached that goal, and we had lots of great celebrations as a part of the process. We are not trying to entice your kids to bring home lots of little trinkets and nonsense. That was part of the feedback we got, was that people would rather just donate directly, know that that money is going to a good cause, and see the school use that for benefit of the education and opportunities that are available here. And so that's what we're doing this year. So your kid, as they donate or receive donations, will get classroom passes, may have the opportunity to buy one of our leaders. And if they raise enough money, and then may also get the opportunity to have the chance to eat with somebody in a different class at lunchtime or whatever. And then there are also grade level prizes, school prizes, and bunches of other things, but none of that involves them bringing home plastic stuff that you then have to figure out what to do with. So that's that. Part of the main focus too of our fundraiser this year, while we're in school, we don't want to waste or occupy a lot of school time trying to get the kids to just raise money or sell things. And so we've partnered with the counseling department to talk about the 7 habits and focus on the first one, which is being proactive. So hopefully by the end of this, you're going to find all of your students to be really proactive helpers. You're never going to have to ask them to do anything. It's going to all work great, and it's just going to be fantastic. Perfect. Everything's going to be perfect. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as this goes through, we'll have a morning show, and we're going to have little reminders to them. You can watch the morning show online now too, if you want to watch Danielle and I doing shenanigans. It's great. And each day we'll talk about a different way and place to be proactive. So being proactive at home and getting ready in the mornings, or being prepped to help with chores or get those meals ready or whatever that might be, what's age appropriate for them. Being proactive at school, being proactive in our community, and then gathering together for our big fall festival at the end. We're keeping with that Wild West theme, and that's the general direction for our fundraiser this year for the fall. At the end of that, we have our fall festival, and Abby and Carly are doing a great job of leading that effort. And so I'm going to turn to you, and you can tell us anything we still need to know about the fall festival.
All right. So update as far as what we have for the fall festival. So we will have a DJ. We are going to be trying to encourage him to get the kids out on the music area, dancing, contests. DJ is going to throw out, some little prizes, freeze dance, all that kind of stuff to try to get the kids more involved. Right now we're up to 6 food trucks. So that is ranging from coffee station to tacos to sandwiches, crepes, hibachi. So we're hopefully they all show. I know that was an issue last year, but if they do all show, we'll have a nice assortment and range of food options for everybody. Also on top of the 6 food trucks, Happy Cow Creamery is coming. So they're going to have some sort of interactive, yes, thank you, Rosalie. Some sort of interactive activity for the kids. And I think milk, chocolate milk, things like that. Cow. Yeah, the cow, the big cow. Yeah. Numerous local businesses have signed up. So we'll have a couple of other local businesses in the area, either doing an activity, a game, anything like that. We're going to have 2 photo booth setups. So a fun backdrop for the kids, some props that we're kind of put together. So we don't know exactly where those are going to be yet, but be on the lookout for those for some fun photo ops. And then for the fun part, volunteers. So as far as the actual festival itself with businesses and food trucks and things like that, I think that we're feeling pretty confident on that. What we do need help with is the setup, the manpower to get a lot of the equipment from inside the school, back there in the closet, all the games, all the tables, setting up the prizes, water stations, to get that actually out to the parking lot.
And we're just setting up tables for the teachers and helping them set up, not the local businesses are kind of doing their own thing. That was one of the kind of things we asked them to do. But we just thought with all the teachers, kind of finishing up their day and everything, if we could at least get them set up outside. If they want to move around, that's fine. But that will be super duper helpful. And do we know what time they're moving out of the cars are moving out of the parking lot? I don't know if we passed that info.
So we will ask the teachers to park that day in Rush Creek.
Okay.
Church parking lot. I think
They will.
Okay, great. So the teachers will park there. We'll make sure that if they don't park there that morning, that they're moved at 3.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
So we'll make sure
That'd be great.
that if they do not park there in the morning, when supposed to them go on that Monday, that they'll move by 3.
Okay.
And another question we had for the after school kids, I want to say, I hope I didn't dream it, that we'll use the back bus loop for pickup that day, so we can go ahead and set up out here.
Yeah, we have to talk about that. In years past, we have.
Okay.
In years past, we have picked up in the bus.
Well, and if anything, we can just set up on the sidewalk and then, well, I guess that they pick up until 6, right?
So you're using buses, right?
We are not.
No,
No.
they can, we'll make sure.
Oh, okay. Perfect. That's helpful. Yeah, we had originally talked about that, but I think we're just gonna focus more on keeping it all in the main parking lot. I think it just makes more sense, just with the amount of people we'll have.
Then we'll plan on eating.
Yeah, and then that leaves that open just in case. Okay, thank you.
So I do have a sign up sheet to pass around if you are willing and able. We're asking if you're going to help set up tables and things like that to be here around about 3 o'clock, just so we're not rushing at the end. And there's a couple of different sections here. You can see what they're for. We are also hoping to do like a temporary tattoo station. We've ordered a lot of fun temporary tattoos for the kids, but obviously that entails having a station for someone to apply those tattoos. So there's also that set up as well. If for whatever reason we don't get enough volunteers to do it, we can always
Hand them out as prizes.
We can hand them out as prizes if we don't have someone actually putting them on. We just thought that would be something fun for the kids.
And I'm just looking at the agenda. So we did reach out to Eastside High School to the Beta Club.
Yeah, Beta Club.
director, but we really haven't had any luck getting high school volunteers, which we kind of thought would be a great opportunity to sign up on service hours or whatnot, but So if anyone has a connection with high school volunteers or, I don't know, any club needing service hours, just let us know because I feel like we could really use them, even if it's just like guiding people to the bathroom, you know, just whatever, really.
That is a good point. We do have permission to use the bathrooms. So it'll be the ones.
2 through 5 door will just probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've spoken to Daniel, he's gonna put signs out and like block off so they can't get in the hallways. And then one other thing, I don't think we mentioned this at the volunteer meeting, but we did put it on the flyer. We're trying to have it be more like parents can hang out, have some chairs, blankets. So if you do get food from the food trucks, you can kind of come over, sit near the music, have more of like a, I don't know,
Trip festival
a true
type
festival type, you know,
feel versus
having to like stand up with your food and then
Yeah.
get by, you know. So bring those. We're gonna set those up in front of the exit or near the bathroom.
Speaking of that, we had some issues with that's last.
That's what I was gonna say, bit by ants.
I can talk to Daniel.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the best we can.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we do have approval to bring some of these tables outside. So I think we're gonna be moving 4 of these outside for seating. So that'll hopefully eliminate people having to sit on the curb because that was.
That was one of our
Issue
big
last
things,
year.
like not wanting that, wanting to have people to or somewhere for people to go. So all that is gonna be kind of right outside the 2 through 5 door. The DJ is gonna be there as well, so we're kind of using that as like an area where everybody can really hang, eat, dance, just kind of have a more.
And it is shaded. We came
Oh,
up
yeah.
here last week. It was, I think about 6 o'clock one day last week and just kind of looked at the parking lot and figured out where the sun was in shade because nobody wants to sit in the sun beating in your face. So that's not fun for anybody. So where the tables are gonna be and the music is gonna be shaded by that point. So
Exactly how many high school volunteers are you gonna need and what are they gonna be doing? Because I don't want them to have to just stand around.
Right.
So what will be the role and how many will they be? Would you guys need?
So, I mean, originally we put like 15 volunteers. That was mainly for, you know, moving things, putting up tables, setting up just general setup. For the actual festival, I don't know an exact number.
yeah.
Well, they don't get out of school until 5.
Okay.
So
So yeah, so we were thinking they could do either like their tattoos or maybe just be more of a,
Water stations.
yeah,
Yeah,
a
water
water
station.
station.
Kids, that's fine. I think the kids will be more interested
Yeah.
over there, but
Yeah.
they're doing it.
Yeah.
Think that that's an easy thing for kids to do.
And even if they sign up for 30-minute increments so that they're not just like, oh my gosh, dude.
Well, that's what, I
It
mean,
might
that's
be
what
more
we put on here.
enticing.
It's just a 30-minute increment.
Yeah.
And 2 stations.
So we just would need them to sign, because it's only 2 hours. Right?
Correct. And then obviously we'll have
And clean
breakdown as well, getting tables back inside, water coolers, because I know we didn't have water last year, so we're setting up some coolers with some water cups, but
I know that Wade Hampton's student council and Beta Club for service hours. So
Okay.
if you want-
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I can reach out.
okay, yeah, thank you. And our emails, I can give it to you. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'll start passing this around.
No, we didn't try Riverside Middle.
Over there and I know we have our names some next week. I can bring someone if you have any information, or you can send me an email, so I can reply to them and figure out like which flow.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any other questions about Fall Festival? As you can see, we've put forth a lot of effort in getting to this point. There's been a lot of volunteer hours that have gone into getting the fundraiser prepped and ready. And there's a lot that's gone into the Fall Festival. What really make those a success is everybody participating as we move forward. And so we're really grateful for each and every one of you who will show up, help out, but also just enjoy the fruits of our labors as we continue to work through this and continue to saddle up and make it a great year. One of the things that the PTA has that is the next thing that's coming up, if you have an agenda, I failed to copy the backside, so just bear with me. We have a PTA grant line this year where we are asking for partners for the PTA to submit ideas that we might be able to use some of our funds to dedicate towards. one of the things that came up, the way that that process will work is if anybody, a student, a parent, a teacher who's like got an idea can say, here's my idea, here's how this could help the school. It comes to the PTA board for us to look at and think about. The members of the board are our executive leadership team and everybody who's a chair of a committee. So pretty much if you're here, you're probably one of those board members in a certain way. If you're a co-chair, you have a single vote among the co-chairs there, but that's how that works. Should we have to vote on something? So anybody can submit those, then we talk with admin and other people to say, what are the possibilities here? How do we look at this? Especially to think like, how can this be something that the school can do or cannot do? Or how can we redirect this request to the appropriate people who might help with it? And then we go from there to try and do our best to respond to everybody and make sure that the needs of the community that are expressed are addressed in some way or another. So we have received a few grant proposals already. The first we received was from the school nurse asking for help with underpants and clothes for kids, because sometimes you just have a rough day and things don't go as planned and you end up wet, you end up messy, you end up soiled, and you just need some clean clothes. We've gotten, we use our classroom funds of $100 to help provide some underpants, and then also some community members helped with support there. But then I know she's had a conversation with Mr. Davis and said that we could do a clothing drive to help support some of those extra outfits. And so she said anything for boys or girls between age or sizes 6 through 12 is really helpful. Clothes in good condition or new condition would be great. Don't just throw all your old clothes that like you wouldn't give to your own kid, because your kid may end up wearing that clothing again on a just rough day. So we'll have more information as we send that out. It looks like we can address that by just sort of the donations and other route, and not need to use some of our funding that we have for that. But if that, we'll keep monitoring that situation and make them back and for further discussion. The other requests that were provided towards the grants was to look at our artist in resident funding and maybe use some of our PTA grant money, where there's $10,500 right now in that line, to help supplement some of the artist in residence programs. So we'll have some further conversation about that and try and figure that out. But that may be something that comes to the next board meeting for a vote to say, we'll adjust that funding up, or to help supplement some of that artist in residence programming to support that. Currently, there's $2,000 in the artist in residence fund from the PTA, and that's going to be utilized by Mrs. Hoffman this year. We've alternated between music and art every year, but if we were to increase that, we might have the ability to bring in different special people for the school's benefit in both music and art. So that's something that might be a consideration coming forward. That also may be something we just adjust in future budgets for next year. And as we talk about budget after the fundraiser, depending on how that goes and what it comes back with, we may be proposing a second budget for the PTA to say, now that we know what this is, we're going to propose this budget that allots different things so that we can accomplish that with the funds that we've now raised. And that impacts how we look at things. One of the things that will probably include is our PTA project proposal. And that's a separate line. And that line is 15, is that right? We've allocated 15,000 for that. And we look at a bigger project that we can do in the school. Last year, it was the sound system that was getting updated, and it will be still updated. And this year, we're talking about using, there's a conference room down the hall that is by the 4th, 5th grade hallway. And we have heard the need for having more sensory space in the school. Sometimes students just need a place to kind of decompress, not be so overwhelmed, and having a sensory room is really helpful. This is helpful for both general ed and the special populations here at school. And we know that that's a great opportunity, but also something that can take a good amount of support from outside sources and organizations. So we're looking at doing some tours of other facilities that have those, to look at different equipment and pieces, and then look at putting some of that money into updating that room. Is there anything else that's helpful to add there? Great.
Opportunity for that, we have an available space, especially right now, they're kind of centralized for our student population, and then just a safe place for those to go to kind of de-escalate. It's not a threatening space, but so we appreciate all of it.
Yeah, we've also received a request from the counselors to help create little calming boxes for each classroom so that if you're having a time of you need some de-escalation, giving kids strategies in those classrooms and the teachers some extra support that they can just open the little box, practice through some of those breathing exercises or other opportunities. And so that you may see an email asking for us to help assemble those boxes coming up. Now we're going to turn to updates from committee chairs, unless there's any questions about our grant process or our projects. No, great. We're going to start with reflections then, Meg, if you would like to tell us a little bit about the reflections program.
Reflection is the National PTA Arts Competition, and at Brushy Creek, we're gonna send out the entry forms for the week of September 23rd. So that's the week after. As soon as the fall festival and the fundraiser wraps up, we're gonna put the entry forms out, trying to get in on a slower week before all the October shenanigans pop up. So you'll see some yard signs, and what we realized last year is that students, that we will be on the news show and we'll share commercials, the students don't really notice. We can put up flyers, students don't care. The way the students will submit an entry is if an adult in their life cares about them and notice a special gift, says, hey, you should put your name in for this. And so this year we're concentrating more efforts on trying to share information with adults and less about students directly. So if you know somebody that's at this school that is an artist, drawing, painting, taking pictures, a dancer, they write music, or any of those sorts of things, that's what this competition is for. And the theme this year is accepting imperfection. It's a great theme. It's a little thick to unpack for some of the younger students, but I hope that we'll have some wonderful entries, and the entry process closes at Thanksgiving break. We'll award prizes in January. So right now, just all of our efforts are trying to get all the communication stuff ready, but I'm excited because we're so close.
Thank you. There's a great book called The Dot, which is about this little girl named Bastian in an art class, and she doesn't think she can do art, and she makes like a little spot on a page, and then her teacher frames it and believes in her. And so if you need inspiration for this accepting imperfection theme, or participating or encouraging your students to be in reflections, check that book out. Look at it. It's just really affirming and nice about how when we encourage people to practice things, they get better, and the world changes for the best. So please support reflections, and it's a great theme this year. It has lots of abilities to enter into it. We could definitely use more entries as we move along. Another way that we encourage students here at Brushy Creek is through the Study Buddies program. Tiffany, I don't think is able to make it today, but she did send me a note, and she has said, quick update from Study Buddies. The teachers have received all info about the program this year, and her goal is to have everything up and running by the first week of October. They will have all but one of the volunteers from last year returning, and a few new volunteers have already said they would help. So they're in a good position. And if you have any questions, Tiffany Wedmore is the person to reach out to. But Study Buddies is a great opportunity to help nurture and mentor a student here and help support the incredible instructional programming and education that's happening. Holiday Boutique. Going to turn to Ashley?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Or who did I talk to about this? Yes.
Well, I'm more than happy to talk about it.
Okay.
So, I feel like we're doing a really great job. All of us have been really trying to put together, getting things started on an earlier basis, inventory, budgeting, scouring, and right now trying to make sure that we're appropriate. Also, I know that we had talked about working with social media this year to kind of tease some items. So hopefully that will come a long way. And then we talked about maybe like a month ahead of time, reaching out to like the teachers, maybe trying to shorten the times a little bit. So it's a lot coming up. It's pretty good.
Great.
If you also have ideas too, like sometimes people have ideas and you maybe would like to see them out, you're more than welcome to submit them.
We have a great team leading Holiday Boutique this year, and I'm really, really pleased by what you all do. Possibilities. It's exciting to see that. those are the updates from committee chairs that I knew wanted to speak, but if I am ignorant of somebody who wanted to say something about the committee and the work that they're doing, now is a good time to grab my attention and let me know.
With Spirit Night,
Spirit
I
Night
was just gonna say, yeah, Spirit Night is tonight, roller sports 6 to 8. I believe there's still cash only. If Anybody,
That's
okay,
true.
so remember that, I think it's $5-ish for entry. If Anybody, somewhere around there. But then we will also sell the glow necklaces, and that's a big part of where we get some money back from them. And they do like glow skates, so you can only skate if you bought the necklace. But I'll be there at a table selling them. And then coming up, we've reached out to some community places to try and get Spirit Nights like Chick-fil-A, Southern Growl, Panera, Crazy Quesadilla. But if anybody, I saw Pelicans does it, so maybe in the spring when it gets warmer, unless everybody thinks when it's cold, you go to Pelicans, let me know. But if anybody has any other ideas, or you hear places doing Spirit Nights or other schools doing successful Spirit Nights places, let us know.
Jill, I think last time we also talked about, there's some places will allow you to do like
The week, yeah.
And so we don't have to always go on that night. I think
Yes.
that's gonna help.
So far, Jersey Mike's is the only place we found that'll do a week. So.
Although Crazy Quesadilla typically does the
the
entire
entire
day.
and not just the window. And there's some places like Crazy Quesadilla will give us the profits from everybody, whereas like Panera, you had to use a code. I think Pelicans, you have to tell them you're with the school, but they put a sign right by the window that says, tell us if you're with. So I always just say, I'm with whoever it says.
Yeah.
Why not? And so, you know,
I do believe that Swamp Rabbit Books is also doing like a virtual book drive this year. And that is either now or maybe October, but if you look, I think it's happening sort of in this window. If you look at that and you say, you make a book purchase there, you can dedicate Brushy Creek as the place, and then they'll make a donation to the school library here, which is helpful. So another opportunity to help support the school. That is all the business that I have on our meeting. Oh, Chick-fil-A Day is Thursday coming up. So Thursday morning, get yourself some biscuits, $5 for a chicken biscuit that you don't have to go to the Chick-fil-A and wait in line. You can just have it conveniently right there for you. And then $2
for
the
plain.
whatever the non-chicken,
Plain.
regular plain
Plain
biscuit.
biscuit.
$2. $5 for a chicken biscuit and $2 for the plain biscuit. And that is a great way to help support as well.
Question, is that this first time? So is it just in the lines like?
Yeah.
They'll set up right here.
You'll notice it.
I see.
You will notice it. And if you don't, they are either not there or
Yes.
sold out. Yeah. You'll see. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all the ways that you give and support Brushy Creek. We are incredibly grateful for you. If there is anything that you need from me or anything that I can do to help or that our team can do, please let us know. We have such a great support from our administrative team and our teachers here. And this school is as good as it is and made even better by the community that continues to create and pour their love and hearts into it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody I didn't know, Danny Hensley joined later.
Hold on.
Where did it go?